Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name's Abdul Karim, and today I'm going to be giving you stories that will astound, that will amaze, that will spookify you. These are stories of jinn. You see, this story takes place years and years ago. This story takes place when my grandmother was a little girl. You see, she lived in a rural part. This was back in colonial India. This was when the British Empire was big and strong. And so she lived in this rural countryside. She didn't know a word of English. She didn't speak a word of English. She couldn't read. She couldn't even write. So this takes place when she was a little girl. You see, when she was a little girl, there was Hindus and Muslims that lived in this town in India. And Hindus used to go into their temple, and they used to have their deities made of statues, and they used to clothe the deities every day, and they used to put food offerings as though it would feed these statues. And every night she would sneak into that temple, and she would swear to this day that those dolls told her to play with them, to take their clothes, and to eat the food. So every day she would go there, and she would eat the food. She would take the clothes of these dolls that were swearing to her. They're like, "We are the dolls, it is fine, come, take the food. And take our clothes, take the dolls' clothes that were handmade." So she was like, okay. She was just a little girl at this time. So she takes the dolls, takes the clothes, and the next morning the priest would go into there and be amazed. These statues are naked. How did these statues nakify themselves? Where did all this food go? We left the food, because obviously in their mind they know statues don't eat food. Animals and people eat food. So they're stupefied. There's not even a crumb left. So the moral of the story is, firstly, don't feed inanimate objects, like seriously. It's just a waste of food, and wasting food is a sin. Secondarily, jinn, the janneen, like to talk to children. That's why sometimes you see children speaking to these things. Why? Because there's a mindset in people. There are people who don't believe in anything, and they will never see a jinn or a ghost in their entire life. Although that being said, on rare occasions there are people who see strange things and they are instantly converted. But there's also people who believe with all their heart, and they see things all the time. Why is it? You see, when you believe in these things, it opens them up to you. It means that they know that they can easily manipulate you. The janneen can know what your belief is because there's a janneen in your blood. There's a jinn in your blood which tells them, hey, this person here, you see, you don't have any work to do. You know, some people who are die-hard disbelievers, it's harder to get them to believe in the paranormal, the strange, the supernatural. So the jinn, you know, like most people, they're lazy. You know, they're just like, I can't be bothered with this. So they don't bother with it. This is why children who are easy to manipulate often are seen talking to imaginary friends. I would recommend, in most cases, do not allow this. Do not say to your kid, you know, it's okay to talk to imaginary friends. Why? Because unless it's a psychological thing, which I'm not qualified to deal with, but just to tell you that imaginary friends could be janneen. And there are stories out there of little girls and little boys being told to bite down on electrical wires so they can join the jinn. They are being told to do sin. So brothers and sisters in Islam, avert your children from these sins. Say to them, no, do not engage in these sins. Avoid them from the sins of talking to the janneen, because sometimes the janneen, not all of them, but sometimes they are shayatin, and shayatin will lead them to the path of destruction. So say A'udhu billahi minash shaitani rajim. Say La ilaha illallah. Say La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Say prayer and dua to make sure that the jinn are removed from your home. And remember, have faith in your Maker, have faith in your Abdul Alameen, and come come to goodness.
Allahu Akbar, Allah.